Hello and welcome to Hill and Ponton's Social Security Disability blog. I'm Natalia, Jofre, the Social Security Section Director.
I'm Shelly Mark. I'm the Senior Social Security Attorney.
So in our last blog, we talked about fully favorable decisions. We all celebrated,
Yay.
right? You waited this long, you won your case. That's great.
Right.
Now, what happens when your decision says partially favorable?
Right. People get really excited because it says favorable, and they kind of skip over the partially part. What that means is that the judge has agreed that you're disabled, but he or she has disagreed as to when.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have alleged that you became disabled in January of 2014 when you stopped working, but the judge may find that you became disabled in June of 2016. And there's a variety of different reasons why that may be the case. The biggest issue or the biggest thing to know there is that you can appeal it.
Right.
You do have 60 days
Mm-hmm.
from the date of the decision to appeal it. However, you need to be really careful in doing so because your entire file is at risk, meaning that any future adjudication also includes whether or not you're disabled.
Yeah.
So they can come back and say, you know what, we disagree. We don't think you're disabled at all.
So that's huge.
It's a big risk.
People many times are willing to take that huge risk. So you have to look at, is it worth it?
Right.
And if you appeal, and we're going to be talking about the appeals council in one of our next blogs, but if you appeal it, it's not like, oh, well, I'm going to go back to the same judge 60 days from now and just have him have a hearing and we can talk about this and say, I thought I was disabled in 2014 and you said I'm not disabled until 2016. What's going to actually happen is you're going to have to then wait probably an average of 24 months to get another hearing. You're going to go before the same judge. Really, your evidence hasn't changed.
Right.
They really can't consider other evidence either. At that point, the record is closed.
Right.
So you're not going to have any different information, and you put yourself at risk of them taking it all away.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah, we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And it's bad because then you end up with an overpayment as well as losing your benefits.
So that means you have to give all the money back.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
And that's hard to do when you're not working.
Right.
So one of the biggest things to do when you receive a partially favorable decision is to determine why. These judges they're smart. They're giving you this onset date for a reason. It could be because maybe you stopped working in 2014, but you didn't have the MRIs done until June of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So legally, the judge can't grant your claim until the medical evidence is there for them to base their decision on. Another example would be maybe you stopped working in 2014, but you turned to 55 in June of 2016.
Right.
So at that point, you've changed into a different age group,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in advanced age, and the statutes change.
Mm-hmm.
So usually there is a reason why it's a different onset date. We definitely go through with our clients and explain to them exactly why. And counsel them on whether to appeal or not.
Yeah, and we've talked about the different age groups in a past blog. And so, like Shelly said, when you talk about your 55th birthday, we'll amend sometimes onset dates of disability to the 55th birthday because the same rules for a person that's 50 to 54 don't apply to a person that's 55 to 59. The older you get, the easier it is. So the judge might say, well, you didn't really meet these rules at age 54, but hey, now you meet them at age 55. And so that's why they're approving that different onset date of disability.
Right, and that's a really good outcome because the judge could just say, they didn't change their onset date to their 55th birthday, we're going to deny it, and they can refile.
The other thing that we see a lot is with, if you were getting unemployment benefits.
That's true.
They don't want to pay you twice. So in other words, you were getting unemployment from 2014 through, let's say, June of 2016. And so the judge says, okay, I'm going to give you benefits as of July of 2016. Why?
Yeah.
Because they feel like unemployment already paid you. I'm not going to pay you again for those same months.
Right, yes. And when you're on unemployment, you have to remember that you're saying that you're able and available to work. And when you're filing for disability, you're saying that you're disabled and unable to work.
So judges do not like that contradiction.
They do not.
Yeah.
So our clients, we would always counsel to change the onset date to after, any unemployment benefits.
Yeah. So those are all reasons why you can get a partially favorable decision. But it's always best, you have to review it and see what's best for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
So in our next blog, we'll be talking about what happens if you get an unfavorable decision. But for now, if you have any questions, feel free to either call us or visit our website. And we thank you for joining us.
Thank you.